Good afternoon and salam Ibu Pertiwiku. South Korean Joint Chief of Staff said North Korea today fired several unidentified short-range missiles into the sea off its eastern coast, likely a sign of Pyongyang's growing frustrations at stalled diplomatic talks with Washington. South Korea's military has bolstered its surveillance in case there are additional weapons launches, and South Korean and United States authorities are analyzing the details. The South initially reported that a single missile was fired, but later issued a statement that said several projectiles had been launched and that they flew up to 200 kilometers before splashing into the sea toward the northeast. Experts say the North may increase these sorts of low-level provocations to apply pressure on the U.S. to agree to reduce crushing international sanctions. The launch comes amidst a diplomatic breakdown that has followed the failed summit earlier this year between Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un over the North's pursuit of nuclear bombs that can accurately target the U.S. mainland. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders said in a statement that the United States was aware of North Korea's actions and would continue to monitor the situation. The United States accused China on Friday of putting well more than 1 million minority Muslims in concentration camps, in some of the strongest U.S. condemnation to date of what it calls Beijing's mass detention of mostly Muslim Uyghur minority and other Muslim groups. The comments by Randall Shriver, who leads Asia policy at the U.S. Defense Department, are likely to increase tensions with Beijing, which is sensitive to international criticism. Beijing describes the sites as vocational education training centers aimed at stemming the threat of Islamic extremism. Former detainees have described to the media of being tortured during interrogation at the camps, living in crowded cells and being subjected to a brutal daily regimen of party indoctrination that drove some people to suicide. Some of the spawning facilities are ringed with razor wire and watchtowers. U.S. officials have said China has made criminal the many aspects of religious practice and culture in some regions of China, including punishment for teaching Muslim texts to children and bans on parents giving their children Uyghur names. After more than a decade of political strife, the people of Thailand are witnessing the coronation of King Maha Vajiralongkorn in a centuries-old royal tradition that last happened 7 decades ago. The coronation Saturday represents a renewal of the monarchy's power after the October 2016 death of Vajiralongkorn's revered father, King Bhumibol Adulyadej. The 66-year-old Vajiralongkorn has served as king since then. However, to be fully and formally invested with regal power and to ensure his legitimacy, he will be consecrated in an elaborate series of ancient rites that culminate in 3 days of elaborate pageantry. The main ceremony began on Saturday with Vajiralongkorn wearing a simple white robe, going through the first of 3 major rites to consecrate him. Later, Vajiralongkorn will put on a crown, more than 200 years old and ornamented with diamonds set in gold enamel. After his crown, the king will receive members of the royal family, the Privy Council and the cabinet, among other senior officials who will pay their respects. Monday, we'll see the king greet the public from the balcony of the Grand Palace in the late afternoon and then hold a reception for the diplomatic corps. Well, that's all the news for now. I am Razi Ahmad and thank you for watching.